Last time we saw this happen, we saw mana decentraland going up nearly 530% in just 3 days. I think that something enormous is about to happen, and we're going to see it in the metaverse tokens and gaming tokens that I'm going to talk about in this video. So hit the like button. Let's get into today's video. Now, before I break down exactly what I think is about to happen to these coins and what is going to be the catalyst to see enormous growth, let's just look at this. Now, back on the 28th of October, 2021, we saw mana decentraland climbing 540% in just 3 days. That is insane. Okay, so how did this happen, or why did this happen? Well, it was all to do with this one piece of news where Facebook changed its name to Meta in a major rebrand, which obviously was a bit of a flop, but that's not so important. But what exactly happened was one of the world's most successful companies changed its name to indicate that it was going to start operating within the metaverse. Therefore, mana decentraland and a number of other metaverse tokens absolutely boomed towards the upside. It's catalysts like this that are indicating something really important. Now, I've talked about this before on the channel, and if you were subscribed, then you would understand what I'm going to say right now, that really we're going to see major adoption of cryptocurrency come from something that is going to force the hand. And really, this is why I think we're going to see the most explosive growth coming in things like gaming tokens and, in fact, in metaverse tokens. And what it is that might force the hand of these could be like play-to-earn games, but actually, it's something way more obvious. And you've probably seen this product on a number of tech reviews and various other things. And it is this, the Apple Vision Pro, which is effectively a virtual reality headset that allows you to interact with basically the real world, but in a kind of virtual reality world. And as we know with Apple, when they launch a brand new product that is doing something that no one else has ever talked about or done before, or at least on the next level, for example, the iPhone, then we know that everything around it will explode as well. The iPhone obviously caused the world of the apps to explode. So many apps blew up because of the iPhone. And this particular headset is going to cause an explosion in the number of people interacting with things such as the metaverse and gaming and play-to-earn gaming and all of these different things. Therefore, the particular coins I'm going to talk about in this video are going to see enormous growth from this particular launch. And I think that the mass adoption of cryptocurrency is going to happen when people need tokens to interact with using their favorite bit of tech. And this is why we're going to see an explosion in these tokens. And the Apple headset is obviously going to be the catalyst for all the other companies out there. We've got Samsung, Sony, etc. bringing in their own version, and they're all going to be jumping on board and using these types of tokens as well. So what are these tokens? Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about, guys, mana decentraland. Obviously, this is a no-brainer, and you can tell that I was going to talk about this having already mentioned. We've seen this in the past, gaining a huge amount of support and interest from companies such as Adidas and others. Mana decentraland has a huge world of opportunity, not just in the gaming world, but within advertising and so many other things. And it's a very well-positioned ecosystem to move forward into the virtual social world. You can see it here, virtual social world. This is really important when we consider things like this Apple VR headset and other VR headsets that are going to arrive on the scene. And you're like, well, this Apple VR headset is extremely expensive. Well, you're like, well, this Apple VR headset is going to cost like $3,000. Most people in the world won't have access to one. And that's fair enough. You know, when the iPhone first came out, many people didn't have access to that because it's expensive. Nowadays, you can see pretty much everyone in the world using some form of a smartphone. It might not be necessarily the latest iPhone, but there are smartphones now that you can pick up for like $100, $150. So it gives many more people out there the opportunity to interact with that. So once the Apple VR headset launches, we're likely to see cheaper versions coming out of Apple and various other products out there that might not necessarily be as good as this, but will still start to move up towards that and give basically many people around the world an opportunity to get in and start to use things like mana decentraland and others. The next token I'm going to talk about is Verasity. Verasity is a very exciting project because it's focusing on the world of esports. And you might not be aware of this, but having lived in China previously and also now in Indonesia, I know that the world of esports is absolutely insane. You can often go and sit in a bar somewhere and the esports is playing on TV. Rather than the Arsenal-Chelsea game or the Rugby World Cup, people will be watching other people gaming various different things. So it's huge, and it's starting to push all the time. And the virtual reality headset is more than likely going to start to embrace things like the verasity token. And the virtual reality headset is more than likely going to start to embrace things like esports, and the verasity token is an essential part of that entire ecosystem as we move more into a world of esports and things like that. Therefore, verasity is a no-brainer for me, and especially in the past, we've seen verasity having very aggressive moves. It's starting to look like it's in a really good position to be looking at buying now, and I'll tell you slightly later on where I'm doing my chart analysis and how you can gain access to that. The next one, guys, bit of a no-brainer. We all know Gala Games, and there are lots of people saying that, Gala doesn't have great tokenomics. There's things going on with Gala that we don't really like. Well, they have just had a massive burn of tokens to indicate that the owners of this project are not about making profit from kind of gaming and stuff like that, but they're more passionate about building like fun and exciting games that people all around the world can come and play to earn Gala Gaming tokens. Obviously, the more people that are interacting with the ecosystem are gonna push the price up, or the base price up, and then the more people that flood into the ecosystem in order to try and invest, which is more than likely gonna happen in the coming bull market, you're going to see massive growth in Gala, in my opinion. And if you're subscribed to the channel, you know that I love Gala Games, and I've been invested in this quite some time now. The next one, moving along in the gaming ecosystem. Now, in the past, I've talked about the growth of gaming and why by 2026 we anticipate seeing a blockchain gaming market cap of something like $64.7 billion. That's because the whole world is now moving into a phase where they're all accessing mobile phones, where they can now use different games. You might be like, well, I've had an iPhone since 2009 or whenever it was that it came out. Well, guys, many people in the developing world didn't have access to smartphones and things like that. Therefore, we've now seen a huge burst in the development that's going on in places such as Indonesia, where I live. And this is causing people to now start taking up things like online gaming. Not only is online gaming massive, but the play-to-earn gaming functions are being really well utilized by people in these developing countries where the minimum wage is actually quite low compared with Europe and America and places like that. And this is encouraging individuals to take up play-to-earn gaming as a really great way for them to be able to earn more money, and money that actually makes a big difference in their daily lives. Vulcan Forge is one of the most exciting platforms out there and is a community-driven gaming platform, kind of similar in a way to what goes on with Gala Gaming, but it also interacts quite heavily with NFTs. This is something that's also very exciting. The world of NFTs within gaming is starting to drive this economy forward, and I do think this is another reason why we're going to see a big growth of onboarding into crypto, because people want to interact with different games and they want to be able to upgrade their player characters by buying different NFTs to upgrade their skin, to upgrade their armor, their weapons, etc. All sorts of different things that are going to boost their interaction with these games, and that means they've got to be buying these tokens to get involved. Vulcan Forge uses the PYR token, and this, I think, is a great opportunity to get involved in a small-scale project in quite a small market cap token that has massive upside potential. Now, obviously, there are a ton of other tokens that I could have talked about today, such as Sandbox and Engine, and there are far more that I will start to talk about more and more often. And if you want to find out more about what I'm looking at, then you can get, first of all, into my free Telegram, which is linked down below. I invite you to get into there. There's something like 2,100 passionate crypto enthusiasts in there right now, and we're seeing great growth. There's soon to be giveaways and things happening in there, but if you really want to see the breakdown of these charts and understand exactly where I'm buying right now, well, guys, there's no better place to be than inside the Inner Circle Discord, which is linked down below, just $9.99 per month. And this is why it's been so powerful. You can see that back on the 26th of June, I was buying Tenet. That's literally just 3 days ago. I was buying Tenet at 12 cents. And as we looked at it yesterday, it was up 36% at the time. It's now continuing to grow towards the upside. So if you want the calls on these tokens that I've been looking at today and understand exactly when I'm buying into these tokens so you can make massive 36% profit in just a couple of days and pay for your membership, even while on the 5-day free trial, well, guys, no brainer. Get into the Inner Circle Discord, link down below for just $9.99 per month. I hope you enjoyed that today, guys. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, you want to learn more about what I'm buying and investing in right now, then subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video.